Hello everyone, Agion here, another Steel Division Normandy 44 replay. Spawn the south side as the Canadians and 101st Airborne. We have Matador1231 and the friendly Stormtrooper. Luckily, the friendly Stormtrooper is in fact playing Canada. He mostly has numerous squads of Stormtroopers here. This will be an excellent spot for them. Over on the north side as their opponents, we have Metallica as the 17th SS Panzer Grenadier, and Nichola Fricke as the 21st Panzer. You got both sides moving forward. There's a lot of... Oh! I love seeing the initial smoke barrages. You got a 25-pounder here, as well as a rifle leader to help inspire it in order to shoot more accurately, I guess. You got various units now moving forward. There is also the light tank, the M22 Chaffee. Over here, we do not have any ram tanks because he went for the... Oh. Wow, did he... He fired a Nebel Warfare barrage right there. Complete miss. Now he won't have any ammo for it for quite some time. I was saying before, there is no ram tanks. He went for dual 25-pounder. He'll probably be supporting both his teammate and himself with that heavy support. We've got some various infantry squads along the area. We've got airborne engineers, so they do have the flamer. Stormtroopers, numerous stormtroopers inspired by a nearby rifle leader are in this forest, as well as a command carrier for some fire support. We've got some stormtroopers over here as well. I think these stormtroopers do, of course, have Panzerfaust as well as smoke grenades. The Canadian stormtroopers has some dynamite as well as some smoke grenades, so they're more slotted one out, as long as that they still have the dynamite available. A lot of suppression coming on down over here. We got the mortar track engaging over here. You got airborne rifles and airborne leader. Multiple squads are... There's airborne engineers. There's a lot of firepower. Multiple of these squads will be falling the forced surrender. However, this officer unit will prevent the surrender. This unit will get pinned down by this Panzer Grenadier. They do, of course, have two LMGs. Asterisk right there means it does not have any Panzerfaust. It's a lot of variants of the Panzer Grenadier squads, really. So hard to know which one has which, but no Panzerfaust, so this is a cheaper variant and does have dual LMG, so a significant amount of range for firepower. Airborne engineers here will not be surrendering thanks to the nearby officer unit, but he should perhaps move back. The Panzer Grenadier Fuhrer, he does have the SMG just start sloping away, as well as the LMGs. Over here, do got some various mortar strikes, nothing too much. Nebel Warfare is receiving some ammo. Will be a significant amount of time before it gets ready to use. You got a Stug here for AT as well as a Pack 38. Over here we just have a 6-pounder as well as some various AT grenades. Nope, Piets actually. Overall, map control still 50-50. 4 tickets, glorious 4 tickets has been claimed by the Allies. Victory is assured. Not really. 4 tickets means nothing. You've got some Pathfinders moving forward. They do, of course, have 2 SMGs, 2 carbines, as well as their M1 Grands. These airborne engineers are very far forward. We'll start burning these Panzer Grenadiers. There's no officer unit to prevent this surrender, but he will get pinned down before forcing pinned down here. But they're going to go walk back in the flames, so it will sustain additional damage because of that. We do got a bazooka shot destroying the half track. The squad is pinned down because it foolishly walked back in the fire. There is actually an officer unit here, never mind, but currently pinned down himself. Over here, not too much. All those units on return fire for the Axis player. We do got a Panzer 35 and a Hotchkiss moving forward. Inboard engineers are still not pinned down. We got the incoming fire support, I think from the 25-pounders. Hopefully he's shoot and scooting so he doesn't receive any counter fire. We got more Panzer 35s moving to the city. More half track still firing, running a bit low on ammo. However, one of the NG teams will get cleaned up. Panzer Grenadiers here doesn't have much opposition. He couldn't push forward. While there's a Jeep with 30 cal, they tend to get shredded, really. 2 pack howitzers. Ooh, I love the pack howitzers in Company Heroes 2. So I just have natural attachment in for this game. And seeing how they have 8 arm penetration with 5 rounds, I say they're a very good unit. Plus, they have, what, 2,000 meter range, so they're better than pretty much any mortar team. And they come Battle Phase A. Of course, they take, I think you want to deploy in groups of 1 from your cards, so you have to use both 2 slots for them. but it's airborne. You tend to rely on aircraft anyway for your support. Or generally, you don't have to. Airborne engineers will get pinned down due to the nearby tank. They will get slowly picked away. You got a stormtrooper here as well. This is metallic. Metallic is the expansion engineer. We do have the course of 25 pounders supported. The Canadian support here, both sides will have the other player to support them in the center engagement. You got these stormtroopers moving forward over here, and you got the rifle leader to inspire them. Transmission damage on the 250. That's not exactly ideal. These airborne rifles actually started firing against the half track. You probably should have put them in counter fire. Jeep with a bazooka team now moving forward. I think those are the... No, he's not Ranger, so I was thinking Ranger Marauders. Over here, still intensive firefight. A lot of smoke coming on down. I think from those are from the 25 pounders, or it could be from the Pack Howies. Yes, Pack Howies have fired off some smoke. I think that is from them. Now, Warfare is currently pinned down. It's currently reloading out of the munitions range of the Jeep of the Opel Blitz. That's not exactly good. But I think it's because of the fallback state. Is in range now. I think some 25 pounders are initiating some counter barrages here. Do got an 81mm as well. So he needs to shoot and scoot, or that's the term, official term in real life, or better known as shoot and then move out of the way. War game, Red Dragon 101 if you're playing artillery wars. Shoot and scoot. We got a large number of airborne rifles here, but they're very vulnerable to a very tight group of indirect fire. Battle Phase B will be initiated in 3 minutes. That is something to look out. 2 Flak Irvings has come out, so you will have some AA. Probably a good idea to deploy out some AA sooner rather than later, because you're facing against an airborne player. Hence the term air. A lot of these units are currently pinned down. They will sustain continuous suppression thanks to this half track, as well as a nearby tank. And more mortar barrages. The Pack Howitzers need to start initiating some counter barrages, really. We do got some various good hits across the field. Looks like this IG-18, is that an indirect fire? Yes, it looks like indirect fire. That was the... I can't actually select it. Never mind, that was it's from the mortar half track. You got a Staghound AA. It is a mobile anti-aircraft unit, as well as the M22. Staghound is from the Canadian players, so all players are more focused on the center region and just various artillery wars across the field. Currently, field control is at 51% in favor of the Allies, but the tickets gained here is very, very minor, really. You do got airborne engineers running low on flames. You do got the airborne bazookas. And a lot of these riflemen here are just getting slowly whittled away. He may be running out of airborne engineers as well, but that's largely fine. You still have your potent airborne rifles as well, having an LMG and 12 men. Here we go. Let's see if this is actually indirect fire. 1,000 meter range, but I don't think that's actually indirect fire. I think it's still just a field gun. What I mean by field guns actually usually have artillery ability as well as AT, but what I mean is a cannon that's direct fire beast. More and more of these airborne rifles are starting to get whittled away. He's starting to claim a lot of deaths here. We do got attack beacon here. Looks like that is a beacon from the Axis player, so he's eyeing to saying attack here. But there is a large number of stormtroopers here, so the infantry advancement is not exactly ideal. He's going to need to hit the area with artillery or bombs first. He knows he's playing against Canada, so he has a huge possibility of fighting stormtroopers. If you don't know what stormtroopers are, they have 6 SMGs, and TNT as well as smoke. These guys are CQB specialists, or close quarter battle, or CQC, close quarter combat specialists. Oh, for the other thing, I think those are pretty much mean the same thing. Panzer 35s received some fire, but I think that's from Pack Howies. You do got an M1 AT gun moving forward. However, this unit is an orchard, so will have reduced line of sight to poke into that, which is a bit problematic for him. That's a very good placement of the Panzer 35. I think the AT gun will have to get all the way up to here, and will give him quite a good spot. He can just always back out, ruining line of sight. Field gun did in fact go down over there. We got the Stug. Looks like he's aiming up a shot. I'm not exactly sure where. Oh, he's hitting these stormtroopers way over here. You got Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers now moving forward, but they will get ripped apart by stormtroopers in a matter of seconds. Looks like the stormtrooper team has actually lost one man. Either way. The stormtroopers are also Veteran C3. We got the command carrier. We do got a large assault over here. We're going to try to keep this area in frame while looking at this. Stormtroopers, infantry, jeeps carrying infantry units also coming forward. Stormtroopers, there we go. They used a grenade, wiping if the SMG fired, put them down to 4 men, and then, oh, there goes a Stug. That is a nice pickup, having the 6-pounder clean that one unit. Stormtroopers are eyeing to move forward. These Panzer Grenadiers do not have any T, but there is a Stormtroop, which do have Panzerfaust, so the command carrier will need to back away from that. Staughound AA is an excellent anti-infantry asset as well. And you got a couple. I have not seen this artillery before been deployed. The Vine and Warfare. I think this is the one that you see used in the campaign quite a bit for the German campaign, where it has a lot of available rockets. All 10 HE, so I'm not super sure how effective these guys are. I always like seeing some new units. You got a B-26B Marauder with 8 and HE bombs coming on in. There's a couple flak Irvings here, but not enough to prevent the bombs from coming down. That Nebel Warfare looks like death in the kill zone right there. Yes, we'll get destroyed, no problem. We're going to need some air superiority fighters in order to take them out, but we do got a P-51D health escort of the bomber. However, he has Euro Stars of Veterancy, so probably won't be all too effective, but there's some various Staghounds as well in the area. More anti-aircraft pieces now moving forward. These Rheinwerfers. I'm not exactly sure how to properly pronounce that. It looks like these Panzer Grenadiers will be forced back thanks to the Staghound. These various men are dished down to one. The Stormtrooper can still be using good picks with its Panzerfaust, but that's pretty much it. One-man Panzer Grenadiers, not all too effective. Might as well just try to use as a light MG in a very far building. Or use it to apply capturing pressure. We do got attack beacon here saying destroy these 25-pounders. These Trident 5 bombers are just slowly picking away at its opponent. And we got the Vine Warfers coming on in. Oh, they fire off a pretty good barrage like that. I actually really never seen them before. They have a very high rate of fire. Looks like they fire off 12 rockets in a very quick volley. But it looks like they're very, very small rockets. 12 only have a rate AoE of 300. In comparison, it's about the same AoE, but less HE a little bit. I'm not sure how effective they are. We do got the Pack Howies. We're sending out a counter barrage. We'll barely miss the Opal Blitz munitions. Panzer Grenadiers are engaging these airborne rifles. There's a large number of airborne rifles. We do even got some glider rifles. Glider rifles are only good at long range, but they're cheap. They're useful. These Vine Whiffers are coming in for another barrage. Large miss there. I'm not exactly sure what he's aiming for. He really should just aim for the city. He knows there's a huge contestment there. Pioneers have been deployed. They do, of course, have the 2 bundle grenades, annihilating infantry inside buildings. Good garrison clearing tools. We got the Staghound receiving a severe amount of damage. We got attack beacon here. He spotted this 6-pounder. I wanted to destroy it. Perhaps with the Nebel Warfare, but the Nebel Warfare is going to be pinned down by the 6-pounders, as well as a new Sexton out with a Dingo. Veterancy 3 Sexton, so this thing is a sniper. Use the 25-pounders for area denial, while the Sexton for pinpoint precision, I'm guessing. Vine Warfers, they do have a pretty fast reload rate. Does launch another barrage, and oh, they're doing quite a bit of suppression. And that's all we really need. You don't really need to cause mass casualties. You just need to force your opponent to pin down, and then just slowly just pick them away with machine guns. We got the B-26 coming forward. Massive bombing run into the town. You got one unit going down. Massive suppression, massive fallback. But he has lost a significant amount of these units. Airborne Bazooka did in fact claim off that Hotchkiss as well. And we've got some mechanized and motorized vehicles coming to help secure the flank. But they need more infantry in the center town. Currently, the field control is 50-50. More Nebel Warfare is coming on out, but this is Nebel Warfare 2. 27 HE over the 22 HE, so bigger rockets. Does have longer range. Holy crap! 111 AoE. We do got a couple aircraft coming out. One Ace Pips, as well as a Focke-Wulf 190 Wingman. Both of them Focke-Wulf 190s. These from different players. Metallica. Yep, both of them from separate players. We'll pick off that, was it a Mustang? Perhaps. Was not the B-26. And there goes the Wasp. This Nebel Warfare, look at this AoE, 111 meters. Holy crap, that is a portable nuke pretty much in this game. The only thing I think has more firepower is heavy bombers, which we'll probably see more and more often in this game. Actually, 6 shots, 27 HE, huge AoE, if area effect. That is even stronger than bombers, I believe. We do got a Sherman DD, amphibious transport. Perfect to cross all this water on this map. Hint, there is no water. J27G coming forward does have 9 AP with 2 guns, so has twice the chance. But this is facing against a Sherman with 9 armor. We'll have trouble in max range, but as it starts closing max in the range, it will more likely to penetrate. We'll receive a bounce there. However, he was starting to show his side armor there. That's not exactly ideal. We got air supported fire as well as AA to support the area. Is smoking. Will get splashed down. Focke-Wulf 190, Veteran C2 now engaged in the P-51D. But P-51D is 1 shot away from being forced back. We do got B-26 coming in for a bombing run. We'll be falling back. Now the Focke-Wulf 190 does in fact get splashed down thanks to supporting P-51D, but how the Ace is coming on out, but the P-51D does have a good turn radius, avoids that initial shot, but there is an AA weapon here to support. But I think the Focke-Wulf 190 may in fact have faster speed. 600, no, will instantly get splashed down, so I couldn't really compare the speeds, didn't have enough time. Overall, I would say that's very... Engagement's probably in favor of the Allies with that. They splashed down 1 Vet 2 and they only lost to a 0 Vet 1. So I say that was heavily in favor of the Allies in that air raid. Plus the B-26 in the midst of it managed to launch all of its bombs without being harmed from being intercepted by enemy aircraft. So they losing that aircraft did its job, actually distracting the fighter away from the bomber. You got a Mosquito coming on out. Mosquito does drop its 6 bombs, each at 10 HE, but probably smaller. However, the Focke-Wulf 190 is also here to engage. It is a Veteran C2-1, so it can rip apart aircraft. He needs to fly over the AA. He will fly over the AA. He will actually initiate the turn radius back so he didn't get ambushed by enemy aircraft, though he could have splashed on the Mosquito. Large number of Pioneers in the center city. The field control is still 50-50. And the Pioneers are currently falling back. This one has used up both his bundle grenades, but it still has a number of SMGs to engage this HMG. We do got a barrage coming on in. We'll do quite a bit suppression down to the rifle leader. We'll claim 3 of its models out of its 4. Mosquito coming in for a bombing run, eyeing to bomb the artillery piece. Focke-Wulf 190 here to intercept as 2 Focke-Wulf 190s who do got a B-51D help to escort away, but the Mosquito may in fact go down. No, he will distract the Focke-Wulf 190, but will be forced back by the AA as well as a Focke-Wulf 190. However, both sides receive a staggering amount of AA fire, both of them smoking on back, but they will fly home safely. It will take us an extensive amount of time to get that repaired up. We've got Bofors here, rifle. These Rheinwerfers doing an absolute great job at suppressing the enemy. I I really want to see this weapon used more often. Pair of stormtroopers now moving forward. 8 men. 1 squad will easily go down. But however, they're going to run the Pioneers. Pioneers do, of course, have their own grenades. So you have to be very careful how close you are to each other. The AoE is only 10 meters. AoE is still 10 meters as well. Each mosquito coming for a bombing run will hit the area, will do a significant amount of HE damage, but will not destroy anything. You got a target beacon saying 25 pounder here. More and more Vine Warfers are coming on in, constantly suppressing the area, lighting the area on fire. No, that's the Nebel Warfer just launching a couple gigantic rockets at his opponent as well. Pioneers are coming in once again. Pioneers fired off throughout the 1 grenade down to 1 member. And the Stormtroopers will finish off the rest of the squad. Well, that was the 2-man squad. So that was very cost effective for the Stormtrooper because they're down to their last 2 men. You got the 25 pounder receiving artillery fire. You got some PZH, I think those Panzer something, 39 something. 25 pounders will need to displace. This Bedford supply is out of munitions. The other one, however, is Crash 34, and we got a fully full one as well. Ooh, you got the half tracks in the fire, almost going down to the fire. Pack howitzers trying to engage this mortar half track apparently. Very big artillery war in this map because there's a huge force lining the center of the map, so indirect fire is very, very common and expected. You got a significant amount of air superiority by the Germans. So we will need to see more air superiority fighters from the Allies in order to really engage it. We do have a large number of mosquitoes as well. I'm not sure if 1 or 2 B-26s. Pioneers there threw out 1 of their bundle grenades. We'll do a significant amount of damage to these rifles, wiping out 6 of the models instantly. These rifles are also moving forward. The Pioneers, they still have another grenade, currently reloading the grenade. I don't know if you reload a grenade, I'm not so sure. Perhaps he's trying to bundle the grenades together right now, and I have already pre-done. No, these are rifles engaging some Pioneers. Both of them, this one still has both of its grenades. This one's out of range to use its grenades. We'll wipe up that squad. The other one will be slowly whittled away. You got some heavy artillery here. 4,000 meter range will outrange almost any artillery piece in the game. I think it is probably the farthest shooting one. You do got a artillery tank here. They do have the Warferman Hotchkiss, I believe. I'm not sure. It does have the 425 HE bombs. They do got the B-26 Martyr being shot down. The bombs was dropped somewhere. I'm not sure where. You got massive air war, but there's too many Axis aircraft. When I say massive air war, I mean there's 1 P-51D Mustang will get shot down. However, the AAA will claim a Focke-Wulf 190 of their own. Losing that B-26 is very problematic. We do got a reconnaissance aircraft now coming forward, but it will just bait these aircraft over the AA. Well, he will in fact get shot down. They're very fragile. Has received quite a bit of fire, but nothing to finish it off. I'm going to take this brief moment to take a drink of my water. B-26 or that mosquito? Nope, it is a mosquito. I'm in for a bombing run. We'll bomb the city once again. However, there is a Focke-Wulf 190 in grid engage, as well as another one over here. The AA, there's not a lot of huge amount of AA coverage here. One that will get forced back. No, just 1 shot away. This one's pinned down. And he will actually barely manage to escape out of there somehow because it has 0 stars of veterancy. That's one reason why. You got more and more rockets raining on in. We'll pin down and do suppression damage across the board. Stormtroopers engaging the Pioneers. There, the grenade just landed, only losing 1 member. This forest has been resecured by the Allies. Field control still 50-50. Not a single ticket has been changed. We do got another bombing run into these units as well. Oh, but this mosquito will get shot down. Currently smoking. No, unit falls back. Needs to re-engage to this Fricke for 90 mil. He's going to try to eye shooting down. He will in fact splash it down. There's enough AA here to provide coverage. He does a fallback immediately. We may in fact lose him down to P50. Though Mosquito, with its heavy amount of 8 machine guns, 4 20mm, 4 30s, will rip apart enemy aircraft, no problem. Didn't even drop the bombs, but this one's now smoking. Will fall away from the AA fire coverage because there's enough AA coverage at last time I checked. Enough to destroy aircraft. Dude got another Mosquito bomb run. Now engaging with his bullets. No, he did not. He initiated a fallback beforehand. Bombs coming on in. Will claim the Vine Warfers. There was 3 of them at the time. Now it's only 2. And the Focke-Wulf Ace will not be able to go on in. We do got P-51D going in as well, but there's enough AA coverage to ward away this aircraft. Actually, there's only 1 left. We got these Warfman Hotchkiss now lining up some shots. Barrage coming forward. Iron hit these units. There's only 2 members here, so it's actually a bit of a waste of a barrage. Of course, you never really know where your opponent is. We got the Ace now being forced to fall back, but this Mustang has about ready to be forced to fall back as well. We do got a Sturmpanzer Brummbär coming on out. We do got heavy support gun. It does, of course, have 14 armor, so very durable. And a staggering range of 1,000 meters. In comparison to ARVE, while the ARVE can come out in battle phase A, has 1 additional armor, but its max range is 600. So the Brummbär has a staggering good range. By the way, to make wine, you don't burn the field to the ground, you take the grapes and ferment them. Yeah, a bit of a side note. There's a lot of artillery here. I'm sort of surprised we don't see more and more artillery barrages in here. The counter barrage has not exactly been ideal. Looks like one of the 17 pounders did in fact go. Both of the 25 pounders did in fact go down. We do got 2 sextons here, nice and spread out. Excuse me, spread out. Now Sturmpanzer Brummbärs moving forward. Looks like this Sherman tank has received a main gun destroyed crit. I can see a significant amount of damage into the unit as well through HE values. More and more Vine Warfare barrage coming into this generator. This is some very good money shots here. Field control still 50-50. The Allies had gained enough tickets in order to get a minor victory. So the Axis players will need to get a 51% just to even out to make the game a tie. We do have Battle Phase C has been initiated. We do got another Sturmpanzer moving on forward. Sturmpanzer Brummbär, eyeing for their heavy HE support, will rip apart squads, no problem. We got the Naval Warfare now engaging barrages. These stormtroopers and rifles are now getting ripped apart. We got attack beacon here. There is a 17 pounder. Lots of stars in the area. The 17 pounder only has 1 star, but there's of course a sexton as well. Actually, no, this is a priest, DD, an HE support vehicle. You got the 17 pounder has free reign against all these Stugs. The Stugs can't really fight against upon it. We do got indirect fighter. Will in fact, I couldn't really tell how many models were left, but the attack beacons were covering up. We'll wipe out that 17 pounder. Now this actually is very a strong force now moving forward. That is a lot of assault guns. So we got a significant amount of artillery for the Axis players. More and more infantry moving forward. The Canadians sending them some more rifles. It looks like the 51% may be coming out soon. We do got a 6 pounder here, but there's Pioneers here. They can make short work of it. 6 pounder is lining up shot, perhaps onto this Hotchkiss here. Yes, we'll find it. We'll initiate a beacon saying, hey, attack that. Rolling some misses there. We do got engineers getting pinned down by the barrages. They do, of course, have 2 TNT charges. Looks like these have got mass fallback. Looks like the Pack Howies doing some very good work here. They got some duck munitions. They do hold more than Bedford Supply, additional 50%, or Bedford Supply has additional 33% less. 33.333, 333, and 3. Mosquito coming in for a bombing run, which will help delay this advancement. We'll get them to fall back on the one Stug as well as the Command 223 radio vehicle variant of the 221, which the 222 is an autocannon variant. Try to go in for engagement. We do got some more Vine Warfers moving forward. Mosquito coming in for another bombing run. It looks like we got a mass fallback in the area. Maybe that's from artillery. These guys probably have sustained a huge amount of HE, so they could go down to it. You got Priest DD trying to engage these units. We do got Wolverine here as well. Massive destruction from all sides. Nebel Warfare is also launching some big bombs. Some very big bombs. We got another rifles here. The Storm Pioneers will have been pinned down, but the Pioneers are a bit problematic with the grenades if they get into range. We got another mosquito barrages. Holy crap, that's a lot of mosquitoes. We'll wipe out these field gun. We'll pin down another field gun and deal damage to the... Oh, we do got the Focke-Wulf Ace trying to engage the B-26, but severely outgunned. But there's some wingmen coming forward to aid him. The Ace did in fact go down. These wingmen actually left his teammate to die. However, the bomber, doing some expert maneuvering, managed to get his guy back away over AA coverage. This guy is trying to go in, but will be forced back. This unit will also get splashed down. These guys could re-engage that aircraft, but getting out of max range now. Won't be able to catch up. We've got a unit being surrendering there. Do got the Priest DD. Has a huge amount of targets in order to... A lot of opportunities to engage all this infantry squads. We'll be forcing multiple units to pin down and fall back. They have gained enough tickets in order to make the game a draw at this rate. E-51Ds coming up, patrolling around, maybe going for a couple strafes here and there. Staghound AA does in fact go down. We've got Brumbars now moving forward. This is a heavy amount of HE, and we do got the Vine Warfers here for mass suppression. We do got JUA-7, but instantly gets spotted. We'll get quickly ripped apart by these three aircraft. We got a huge amount of reinforcing infantry, both sides just sending in as much as they can. I think this may have been a custom game, because the timer was actually 45 instead of 40, and they may have increased income. I wasn't really paying attention. I could go ahead and quickly look it up in another tab. As it's going on, we do get the Panzer IV here, so we do have some more medium tanks. We haven't really seen many medium tanks. There's a lot of assault guns, but 45 minutes and income rate medium, starting points 500. So standard game, just additional link. Was this sort of patch I was not familiar with? Because I don't remember seeing Vine Warfers before, or Vine Warfers, however you want to call them. And I don't remember seeing games for 45 minutes, so they may have been a patch and just not been aware about it. We do got P-26 Marauder coming on in. We do got potential tickets counting up in favor of the Axis players. Massive barrage coming in. A lot of these guys have been bombed multiple times before. Multiple units are falling back. We'll need to see an armored counterattack here, or maybe a counterattack over here, but this area is very well secured across the Axis field. Or so we got multiple AA units here as well. However, the Marauder getting hit by a massive amount of damage from this Focke-Wulf 190 will in fact splash it down just before he retreated out. And we'll actually pick up this one engineer. Or not. Thought he would. This just seems like an absurd amount of income. Maybe this map is actually a 1v1. That's my problem. And both players are squeezed into a 1v1 map. That may be what it is. Either way. Because it just seems like a whole lot of units. Both sides are spamming out a bunch of cheap units as well. Which is fine, actually. That's probably what's getting me a bit confused. More and more bombs coming on in. These guys are severely damaged by HE. Oh, engine destroyed. He found the 17-pounder. There goes... That may have been a ram tank, actually. Looks like a ram. And we'll claim number Stug there. And the 17-pounder has free reign against its targets. The tickets are still counting in favor of the Axis players. Currently, they are at 52%, so we'll need to see a mass counterattack. More and more bombers coming on in. The HD damage is starting to mount on up. Will force a fallback, a continuous fallback on those units. More and more bombing runs coming on in. You just got so many mosquitoes. You don't have a swarm of mosquitoes. You don't have enough. Oh, we got this mosquito engaging. Will force a fallback. He may quickly rip apart that aircraft. Now it has one sort of veterancy. Will rip apart that aircraft. The mosquitoes are claiming kills of their own. You got mass infantry reinforcement. There's nothing really here. The field guns pinned down. The Stug, one has recovered. These, in fact, are just rifles. Needs to get these guys out. There's some Sturm Pioneers here as well. Rifles are moving forward, but they're getting pinned down. There goes that unit. You got Priest DD also in the area. These Stugs are now recovering. Number of the Bedforts actually going down to flames, as well as cannon shots from the Stugs. You got a B-26 Marauder coming on in. Massive barrage onto the artillery, but these tanks, so they can withstand a bit more. P-51Ds eyeing to suppress. All the AA weapons in the area are currently down. We do got some reinforcing support weapons as an officer unit to inspire nearby men. We got 17 pounders reinforcing the front line. Priest DD can't really move forward, maintaining a good vision block on the Stugs. Stugs, of course, assault guns, and not exactly ideal at maneuvering around trees such as that, even something small as that. Number of stormtroopers in the center of the map. They're getting hit by AA. Field control is still in favor of the Axis players. They have overlapped their opponent in tickets, but they still need a bit more. Vine Warfers coming in for some massive barrages. Actually, no, these are just artillery pieces along with Nebel Warfers. This is a very potent target for them. And the Axis players, the Allies, need to halt the ticket advancement so the game will end in the tie. Better end in the tie than them losing, I guess. Fricke's trying to move forward. The Stug's being problematic. Another Stug did in fact go down, most likely to the 17-pounder. Priest DD not currently lining up a shot on anything. The Pioneers are starting to get wiped out, but there's still a couple bundle grenades. Bundle grenades can rip apart enemy squads even if they only have a couple members. We do got another B-26 came in for a bombing run. I'm not exactly sure where. Another B-26 here. He's deploying the heavier ones with the 425 HE bombs. We'll start eliminating those AT guns. Field control is 53% in favor of the Axis players here. They have secured this area here. You got armored reinforcements. Sherman 3s now have been called in the line from the Canadian player. We haven't seen any Ram 2s. Those are heavier and stronger variants, because they have 12 armor. But they, of course, they only come in slots of 1, and however they are command units as well. Priest DD does in fact go down, most likely to the Stug. This Sherman tank could have easily gotten back to this area in order to get rearmed with ammunition. You got the Sextons still trying to punch the area, but there's nothing actually here while this pressure is being applied by the Stug. The Stug has spotted these Sherman tanks. Sherman tanks do not have enough armor penetration at max range. Are they at max range? Yes, they are. They need to get in closer. Though they are getting some suppression in. That's maybe all they really want to get. The Stug's going to fall back, even though he had enough armor to protect himself. Bailed out. They got a side armor hit there. There's a little bit of side armor showing, so they got a bailed out crit. Those units can move forward. We do got some artillery barrages coming into here. One of the pack howies in fact go down. So did the Bedford supply. I think Bedford supply actually got hit and then exploded, killing nearby units. You got an Achilles heavy tank destroyer move forward. They're equipped with a 17-pounder mobile unit. Do have approaching enough tickets in order for the Axis players to win. With this very hard-fought game, the Axis Allied players need now to fight hard to gain as much ground as possible in order to get a 51% in order to tie up the game now at this rate. The Axis players still have a significant amount of artillery still available, but we do got still a huge amount of bombers, of mosquitoes, and And B-26 is still available. They can call him in for some additional barrages. He's starting to rip apart some of these frontline units as well. That's what he needs. He needs a break. They really need a breakthrough. They do have an armor advantage at the moment, as a number of Sherman tanks as well as the artillery. He's starting to push forward. They're starting to reclaim some ground. They're at 52% now. We do got a lot of indirect fire counter barraging the Sexton. We got the one Mosquito did in fact go down to this Focke-Wulf 190. We do got a King Tiger Ace coming on out. Conspel? I really don't know how to say any name, especially one in other languages. Reinforcing Shermans are coming forward. I think the Axis players are going to win. They have sustained a huge amount of ticket advantage now, and there's only 4 minutes remaining. The Allies need to sustain a +1 income now in order to tie up the game. Oh, we do still got this Focke-Wulf 90. It's still in behind the line. The bomber still will get splashed down. The bomber will come in for his barrage. I think all the AA weapons maybe have cleaned up or are just not in the area. Bombs have been dropped. But large misses across the board. Bit of a shame. And there goes the bomber too. The AA weapon fire. That aircraft doing enough damage to allow the AA to finish it off. I probably won't be coming in for another barrage for the rest of the game anyway, so losing that's not a huge problem. Large number AA hitting these P-51Ds. There goes the Panzer IV. Brumbar still alive, but will do provide a good amount of suppression damage to these units. Does have a significant amount of armor. Has a side armor of only 5, so it's very vulnerable to the Sherman here, but currently in a fallback state. One more Vinewerfers coming for some barrages. Very well played from both sides, but I think just the overwhelming artillery is what made the Axis players win. They have so much artillery, but those bombing runs were doing quite a bit of damage. However, also, so both sides had a lot of HE thrown in the fight. What I can say how one side could have, how the Allies could have won, I can't really say. I just can't really say. Perhaps the lack of shoot and scoot of his artillery pieces here is maybe one way they can improve, but I can't really say anything definitive. They had a significant amount of bombers. They got some rocket runs hitting some anti-aircraft weapons now. They have the enemy AA has been a minor nuisance at most, but not huge problematic. Huge amount pinned down here. We've got the Sherman tanks now engaged. Perhaps the lack of use of medium armor, perhaps. I can't really say. With the last 1 minute 30 seconds of the game, the Axis players have enough tickets to have enough safe victory. I can see a lot of beacons being called out by the Axis players, or at least by one of them. There's a lot of coordination between them. Maybe that's a better coordination. That's one reason, another reason why they won. Last 60 seconds. This game's pretty much over. I think his miles will just send all their units on attack move. This game has already been decided. Sturmpanzer, these Brumbars have been doing some good work as well. Yeah, the lack of shoot and scoot. These artillery pieces have not moved whatsoever. I think that's one reason why the Axis players have won the artillery war. They had better counter-arty. I can't wait to see the kill tab, seeing how effective. I mean, those Mosquitoes got a couple kills of their own. Or 3, 2, 1. End of game. This is Agion saying, oh, I'm not going to say my sign off yet. Let's go ahead and see how effective some of these units were. You can see here a lot of these staghounds have done quite a bit of. Look at the staghound. Look how many pioneers they claimed, as well as 2 aircraft. So air superiority was gained by the Allies, but even then, they could not drop enough bombs on their opponents. I say the lack of counter artillery is the primary reason why they probably lost. Let's see, the mosquitoes. This mosquito claimed 2 kills, air-to-air kills. Very nice. This one's claimed 1 of his own, so use the mosquitoes even as, because they are fighter bombers. Ooh, the Stug got quite a number of kills. A Ram 2, so there was in fact a Ram 2 deployed. I didn't catch it. But overall, very good game from both sides. This is Agion saying, thank you for watching, and signing off.